Okay, so we're quickly approaching the end of the DVD here. So now it's time to go through some real-world examples. And what I've done is I have 7 different songs here, and I'm just going to play just a few measures of the song because obviously due to copyright restrictions I can't play the whole piece. But when voicing melodies, obviously the melody is always the top note, and you're not always going to be able to use the concepts exactly as I presented them in the DVD. Sometimes you're going to tweak it a little bit here, sometimes you have to come up with a whole different chord voicing, okay? But the point is that all the voicings that you've learned so far, you use these as a staple from which to start from, okay? And then more importantly, you start to understand the concept of, oh, here are the notes of my chord and this is how I can break them up and spread them out. So let's start with the first one. This is Bewitched. It's on page 43 of the Real Book, and I have a link to the Real Book, the 6th edition Real Book. So it's page 43, measures 1 through 3. That's what the little M means. It's measures 1 to 3. So here we go. So the melodies. And the chord is C major 7. So see, very simple. Okay. Now the problem that you have is that when the melody is so low, there's just so much that you can do with it. You know? I mean, it's hard sometimes, like a lot of times I'll do stuff like this, but I have a big hand so I can hit that 10th easily enough. All right? So it's kind of hard to get some stuff together. So a lot of times this simple voicings sound best. Now look at this. Look at what I'm using here. This is very, very simple. It's just C sharp diminished, but all I'm doing really is just the root, the double flat 7th, right? And then the flatted 3rd, right? I didn't even put in the 5th. Nice open sound. Here's 4ths on the D minor 7. Okay. All right, once again now, that open sound again for D sharp diminished. And we go to that C over E chord. Right? So very simple voicings. This is a good example of how you don't need much to get a really pretty sound. Listen to it in time here. It's a very nice sound. You don't have to like bog it down with like, oh, let me throw in sharp 11s and all this kind of stuff. Sometimes simple is better. Okay, let's move on to the second example here, All the Things You Are. So the melody. Okay, so what I'm doing here for F minor 7, just voicing down in 4ths. Okay, I could just do that, it's just pure 4ths, but I decided to throw the 3rd in again. And then here's that chord voicing. That's 5th, 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 right? 4th. Okay. And now here, check out this voicing that I'm doing here. Look at what it is. It's just the root and the 3rd over here, and here's a nice 7th for my E flat dominant 7th chord. And there's the melody. And all I'm doing is just throwing in the sharp 11. Okay, it's no real voicing that I've gone over. It's just that, okay, here's my dominant 7th, here's a 3rd. Well, let me throw in 1 tension. You know, that's really all that I need. Here's A flat major 7, root 3, 6, 9, 5th, melody, which is the 7th. Okay, so now the third example, For All We Know, is on page 145. This measures 9 through 12. All right, so it's, I'm sorry, E flat major 7. All right, then you go to that G flat diminished. Oops, what am I doing here? That's what I want. E natural there in the right hand. Okay, so E flat major 7. So good example, coming right down in 4ths. This is one of those magic voicings that I went through before. Okay, coming right down in 4ths. This is fourths built on the fifth down. And now here's the G flat diminished. Now what I could also do is I could take out the G flat here, right? And keep it nice and open, just like that. And now here's that stacked triads that I talked about for the minor chord. F minor with E flat major right here. So you know that when the 11th is the melody note, wow, you can throw that voicing in, it sounds great. And now here's B flat 7, and this is an upper structure triad. So it's root 3 7 over there, and now here's a major triad built on the second. All right. Now, how about When I Fall in Love, page 439. This is measures 1 to 2. So the melody is... Okay, so... Okay. We're going to do that again. That's really what I have written, but you can go get a little motion in there, okay? Or I can do, okay? Let's talk about that. Here I decided to start just with this nice little cluster in here. It's just an E flat major triad with the second in there. Now I could also do something like this, where I go down, I do that fifth, right? Remember what I said before, it's like that's nice to do something like that because that's a little too muddy, all right? But that fifth gives a lot of nice oomph to it. Now here's my dominant seventh, root 3 7, right? This is fourths built right on down from that, what you call it, the flat 13. Where I can look at it as here's my root, my third, my seventh, here's my sharp 9, my flat 13. And now, very simple on the F minor. I could also throw in the 11 there if I wanted. You see this nice arpeggio? I want to get some motion going on, all right? So instead of just doing that, I have this motion. And now I can do this for B flat sus. So rather than going to B flat dominant seventh, do the sus to delay the resolution, and then go on down. Or I could do that flat 9 sus, and then resolve, and then move back to E flat. Okay? So there's a lot of different options that I have there. Okay, When You Wish Upon a Star, here's the fifth example, page 441. It's a nice example of the line of motion within the line. Okay, this is measures 15 to 16. Right, that little section. Right, and I have... Let me go through that. See what I'm doing? I'm going to hold that A down. I didn't write it like that because it's kind of hard to write it, but... You can also hold the C down as well. Now check this out. Okay, now take a look at what that is. Now you can think of it, as, how I would think of it is just root 3 7, 9 and sharp 11. It's not really an upper structure triad. I could have probably crushed that like that if I wanted to, but I like that open sound of this, not too cluttered. Notice I'm going to keep the chord held down. So. Now let's talk about what I'm doing in here. So here's A minor, right? And then the melody goes up like this. Well, now what if I just go ahead down, have some contrary motion, because that's what's going to happen. That's going to be the melody note. So I'm just moving from the A right on down to the third of the D7 chord. Do a little roll there if I want. And it goes, I believe, to like some kind of D minor 7. Okay, Satin Doll. This is found on page 349. I didn't write in all of the melody. I figured you'll be able to get the idea here. So it's like, right? The main point is I want you to see that nice minor 7 chord voicing works perfectly. You know, the 5th is in the melody, so look at this voicing. Root 7, there's my 3rd and sharp 11. I love that sharp 11 sound. And there's my melody up there, okay? So now, I could also do, you know, I could have done one of those upper structure triads, but, you know, it sounds too tense. You know? Whereas, that's just enough tension. You'll notice a lot of times, root 7 and 3rd, with 1 tension, wow, it fits the bill right there. It's really all that you need. So, E minor. Is that A7, right, with the sharp 11. Root, 7th, A and G. 3rd, melody. Sharp 11 is D sharp. Okay, let's take a look at Misty. This is the last example, and this is really nice. This is found on page 277. This is measures 16 through 19. All right, so here's that A minor 7, right? All right, great sound, huh? So maybe throw in sharp 11 there if I want. Okay, so A minor, that's stacked voicing, right? Now here I have D7, right? And I have this upper structure triad that's built on the flat 6. Here's F7, right? And this is root 3/7, F, A, C, E flat in the left hand, F, A, and E flat, I'm sorry, in the left hand. In the right hand, 4ths down from F, so F, C, and E, F, C, and G. And then I go to G minor 7. Notice what I'm doing here, just root 3, and then I'm just coming down from the 3rd and 4th. And then once again, another one of those upper structure triads built on the flat 5. If I wanted to change the melody, I can, you know, maybe get away with trying that sharp 4 minor. And then that's stacked chords again, stacked triads for F minor. And then I have my B flat 7, sus 4, flat 9. So what I did here, just like do the melody in octaves. And now here, it's very simple, you know? It doesn't have to be a complicated chord voicing. Here's E flat, root, 5th, 9th, 3rd, 5th, melody, which is the 7th. I can also arpeggiate it. Okay? So, take these examples, mess around with them. The best thing you can do for yourself is, 1, go through the chords, all right? Put in what the numbers are. So is it the root on top, the 3rd, the 5th, the flat 7? Analyze the chords. It will help you out greatly, okay? That's the first thing. Second thing, really take a look at what you just analyzed. So now you know, oh, okay, well, I know that if I have dominant 7th, I can make a dominant 7th voicing. If the root is on top, I can come down in 4ths and then do a root 3/7 in the left hand, right? Or just guide tones. I know if it's on a C, I can also do, you know, an upper structure triad like that. So start to come up with a grid for yourself of different options that you have, okay? After that, move to standards. Pick up the real book. It's a great amount of songs for a low cost, okay? Go through these songs. You could start with these first. Pull out these chords that I've already done for you, and then start to try to do the next 2 measures, or the 2 measures previous to the examples that I have set out for you here. Okay, so start adding on to it and creating your own arrangements. These are nice songs because you can play them as ballads. A ballad is a slow piece of music, all right? What's nice about the ballad is that, you know, it's not like, you know, trying to do it really fast and like you're going to move these chords really quickly, okay? So have some fun with these. I'll make some play along examples for these as well so that you can play along with these, 2 or 4 measures. Okay, so that would be good for you as well. All right, take care.